The dopamine that you get gambling all your money away just to chase for that nigh impossible jackpot that can possibly change your life is pretty exhilarating. Or you just go home broke and homeless. But with anime tower defenses, well, mainly most of the entire Roblox platform itself nowadays can give you that type of experience. But instead of just throwing money away as an option, you have another option being your life and time. But for this anime world tower defense video, I'll be covering over methods of obtaining the trait reroll currency celestial crystals. So with that being said, my name is Tax, and let's begin the guide. So starting off the guide with quests, where you can get a lot of celestial crystals daily, weekly, or per update that comes out. So with daily quests, there are a total of 7 quests, and where you just need to complete 5 of them to get mainly most of the rewards. So on average, you're going to get 15 celestial crystals, but if you do all your daily quests, you'll get 16 total. For weekly quests, there are 7 quests total in this section, where you have to complete 6 to finish the last and 7th mission, which gives you the 15. So weeklies give you 45 celestial crystals per week, with the reset happening daily at 8 p.m. EST. As for event quests, this depends on how many units are in the update with evos or attainments. So it's just depending on what characters are put on here. But for the daily festival, there are around 10 quests, each giving you a set range of rerolls ranging from 3 to 6 total for each quest. So depending on the character's rarity, depends on how much you get. Another thing that resets weekly, along with the weekly quest, is weekly challenge. So there are 2 modes, traitless and traded. Pretty much weekly is just an infinite type of game mode where you can go into solo or duo, depending on what you want, with the rewards ranging on depending on where you rank, with the max of 40 celestial crystals. And on average, you're always going to get 20 if you hit 20 million plus score. So you only get the rewards from one side of weekly challenge. So if you rank first in both traitless and traded, you won't be getting 100 rerolls. You'll only be getting 60 max, because it only counts for one side. And as for that, corresponding to all the quests, you get a point system where I'm hovering on my mouse, similar to gacha games like Honkai Star Rail, Wuthering Waves, and Genshin Impact, where you complete quests to progress the Battlepass with a point system, and it works the same as for this game. So this current Battlepass has 100 tiers total. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like that for every Battlepass from here on out. Back then it used to be 50, but with this Battlepass, you can get up to 100 and get a lot of rerolls. Don't know the exact amount since I don't feel like doing the math, but that's mainly it for this section. On to the next section, which is so as for game modes and stages that can drop celestial crystals, let's start off with events. So when you create a warp in the event stage tab, currently as we're recording this, there are only 2 events, being boss rush and random unit, but occasionally there is a third option, which is the seasonal / limited time stage events, which have a corresponding shop with them, where you grind for a currency from the stage, go to the shop, exchange it for units and materials. So the materials that you can get from this shop is gold, miracle shards, and celestial crystals. I'll probably have a picture pull up with the example being Amu's event from the Easter event, and then there's some other events as well, being Usopp's event for April Fools, Madoka for part 1 of New Year's, and that's mainly it for events. Moving on to Sid stage. So Sid is located directly to the left of Gojo if you're facing him, where you're standing right here with a timer. Sid spawns every 6 hours with a guaranteed chance. Back then it used to be 50-50, which I don't know how that went by, but you know, happens. So pretty much when you do this event, you get a drop called Atomic Essence. This Atomic Essence can be exchanged in the shop to the right of quest. Scroll all the way down and you can see 25 celestial crystals if you exchange for it, which I just did. So as you can see, took 1 away. I got 25 rerolls right there. And that's mainly it for Sid stage. Spawns every 6 hours, which in my opinion, it's not really a reliable way to grind rerolls. If it was like 3 hours, possibly 2, like it could be, but yeah, that's mainly it. There are also permanent stages that you can farm rerolls, being Infinite Tournament Raid, and Legend stages. So in my opinion, the best stages to farm for these rerolls is Fairy Camelot, Ruin Society, and then Boost stage. That's just my opinion. You guys may have other opinions, but personally, the best general resource grind would be Ruin Society, since it gives you a lot, being Unimats, Legend Shards, Celestial Crystals, and all that. But if you're only chasing for rerolls, then I would just do Fairy Camelot, just because it doesn't have as many drops as the other stages, and it won't be bloated by the other drops, so you have a higher chance of filling that one slot for a reroll. Boo, in my opinion, is only there if you just want fast runs. That's just my opinion. That's mainly only reason why Boo stage is there. It's a small map. You can get fast runs pretty quickly. Later in the video, I'll do tutorials on how I macro and stuff, and give a method for iOS players how to AFK. But personally, in my opinion, if you don't want to go through the hassle, just go to the AFK reward or time chamber and just auto click your way through. Lastly, there's one more game mode that you can do, which is the Abyss Dungeon or Abyss. So in my opinion, this is kind of a reliable grind for people who manually play the game, but you do need to have good units, a good team to actually ramp up the amount of rerolls that you can get. So currently, as of right now, I don't know how many rerolls each stage gives, but editor me will probably show you guys that infograph on it. But yeah, Abyss is just pretty much an infinite climbing tower game mode, similar to Infinity Castle or World Lines from their corresponding tower defenses being AA and AB. But yeah, that's mainly it for all the game modes. So moving on to okay, so pretty much for this part, I'll be going over how I macro. Currently, my reroll count right now is at 2041, but I've been playing other games, so it's not any higher. So for this example, I'll be using Makima, but if you join my Discord server, I do have all the macro files up and uploaded in my announcements in the pinned message if you want to have the macros for all the maps and all the characters. Here's a tier list of all the characters that you can macro with, depending on viability. In my opinion, you could use Saitama, but he just breaks your game because his auto attack doesn't have an option to turn off its effects, which can ruin your macro, which I don't know why. But in my opinion, if you're mainly just trying for rerolls, I would just do Fairy Camelot. But if you want to get the best positioning to do macros on every map that I gave during the video, I would do Ruin Society. So the reason why you would do Ruin Society is because there's a hill in your way, which can ruin your positioning for other maps, yada yada yada. So what I would do is start the game, place down Makima for this example, set to 3x, have the summon out, and then wait until wave 5. Okay, so when wave 5 occurs, you guys see the -5 range and attack. Try to aim near the bottom area of it, mainly like the bottom corners of it. So let me sell Makima here, and then place her there and spam 1 and E, 1 and E, 1 and E, right? Just spam at the -5 range plus attack, and then click on the skip. So I'll show you guys an example of the macro. Let me pull up my tiny task as well, just so you guys can see. I'll repeat, set the custom speed to 10. So as you can see where the macro is, I just would spam where the -5 range and 18 attack is. So let me start recording it, put on always on top. Let me start recording it, replay, then go to where it plays the indicator, spam 1 and E, go up here, stop recording, and then I just click play, and it'll spam that real quick. As you can see, that's pretty much the macro. I can show you guys the other maps as well, how it works. So I'll be back whenever I'm done with that. All right, so here is how the macro works on Fairy Camelot. So spam restart, and then drag myself down, and then click ready, and rinse and repeat. It'll always place there. You don't have to worry about it. And then moving on to Boost stage. So for Boost stage, pretty much same thing. It'll place over there, and then let's see if I can get the other spawn as well. I'm not getting other spawn. We do fix camera. So other spawn's kind of like this. It'll also put like kind of however its position. It's like I know it's facing forward like this. So if I play the macro, it'll also place in that position as well, while clicking plus 18 attack, -5 range always. So if you want recordings or downloads to these macros, I do have them on my Discord server in my announcements for the pinned message, but that's mainly it. So last part is just the iOS macro, whatever you would call it. In my opinion, I don't recommend doing it. I'm just having it out there for those who want to do it and are really desperate for rerolls, which I don't know why you are, but that's pretty much it. So pretty much see you guys at the end of the video, probably.